A true woman despises a weak man. A true man despises a strong woman. A true man knows when to tap into weakness. A true woman knows when to tap into strength. It further strengthens that bond. There is no weak without strong. There is no strong without weak. There is no man without woman. There is no woman without man. This is the law of polarity, the yin and the yang. Since we have forgotten this, we collectively suffer. When this imbalance is not recognized, it leads to authoritarian fathers and devouring mothers. Toxic masculinity and feminism have led us to fight this polarity and fight each other instead of recognize the beauty of our differences. When we lose our connection to the divine, nature abhors a vacuum and attempts to fill this void with a perceived sense of identity, which is usually validated by others. External validation instead of internal validation perpetuates the lies we believe. I want to start with the first 4 sentences of this. This is a post I just put out. A true woman despises a weak man. I want to be very clear what I mean by this. A weak man is someone who is not, as I had said towards the end of this, is someone who is not connected to the divine. And the way we get connected to divine is finding that peace within. I think this is what Christ had spoke to when it's seek the kingdom of heaven, which is within. A true man despises a strong woman. Now, this is the place for controversy, right? But we have created a society that says weak is bad. It's okay if you're weak as a man, but it's not okay if you're weak as a woman. And I think reading between the lines here is that what's happened is there's become a lot of weak men. And I define a weak man as someone who pretends to be strong. I know in my life, many chapters in my book, I pretended to be that strong man. If you have a truck, you're a strong man. Or if you have muscles, you're a strong man. Or if you impose your will, you're a strong man. If you're leading, you're a strong man. But what I would say, it's the spirit behind it. It's the spirit behind why you do what you do. It's integrous authority. It's leading by example. It's being the change that you want to see. I say a true woman and a true man because I define truth by someone who seeks truth. And we have a world now that has forgotten truth. What is true? What is true today, tomorrow, and always? And we have accepted comfortable lies. It feels good. The truth doesn't always feel good. And in the 7-second videos that we have in our world, we're so easily triggered. We don't want to read between the lines. I go on to say a true man knows when to tap into weakness. A true woman knows when to tap into strength. I think the best example of this is the yin and the yang. I think women are far superior when it comes to emotional understanding. They have a deep understanding and intuition that men don't have. And for men, the rational thinking mind is far superior. Now, this doesn't mean that there aren't exceptions to the rule, but I've seen in my own experience, I can only speak on my experience, is that this is the case. We commonly have those different interests. And it doesn't mean that women are stupid and men don't have emotional, they don't have emotions, right? That's not what I'm saying. But there's these deep differences. And we have created a world where we say, no, everybody's the same. A woman can do anything a man can do. A man can do anything a woman can do. But the question is, why are we doing that? Are we doing that to compete with each other? And what I've come to realize is there's a myriad of reasons. There's so many reasons why. But to practice what I preach, I would say that in my own experience, it was the failure of taking responsibility, the failure of tapping into the weakness when it's the right time. I think one of the problems that holds a lot of men back is pride. When a man taps into his weakness, he says, hey, you know what? I'm a sinner. I've screwed up in my life. I've been this, I've been that, when you tap into that, easily the world can judge you, use that against you and all that. So the alternative to that is going all the way on the other side. I'm not going to be vulnerable to anybody. So that's really where it's like it's not an integrated masculinity. It's not an integrated femininity. I think that we all need strong father figures in our life, people that we look up to. And I think we all need weak mother figures that we look up to. And I'm going to continue to use that word weak because I don't see weakness as something that's bad. I don't see the negative as something that's bad to the positive. I think it takes a lot of courage for a woman to be weak to a man who is strong, because it requires her to truly trust her deep intuition that she is being vulnerable with a man who is not going to take advantage of that. And in the world of over-sexualization and, Tinder and all this, we can have everything at our fingertips. I think it's been taken for granted what that power of creation really is. When that bond is secure, I mean, I remember seeing my grandparents, that bond is something we have forgotten. And one of the things that I intend to do with this channel is to bring that back. And I hope that through all my videos and my conversations that I've had with other people, this is not a better than the other, that a man is better than a woman or a woman is better than a man. We need each other. We need both of those forces. And I think that when we say, well, let's create more strong women, what we're actually doing is we're taking the yin. The yin is saying we need more yangs. Yin is being yang and yang is being yin. We're flipping we're reversing how the world is. And instead of reversing it, I think we should understand that which we are. And the more that we don't do that, more we say, well, no, a man can do anything a woman can do. A woman can do anything a man can do. Deep down, I think we despise that. And that the despising comes from not being able, it's really a fear of love as well. To really fear to be absolutely vulnerable to that which is. It's hard to really describe these things, and to keep this video short, I think the main point of why I'm putting this video out is that I think it's okay for a woman to be a woman, and it's okay for a man to be a man, and that it actually requires courage to do these things. It requires courage for a man to do the right thing in a world that people want to go this way. My message is not going to be for everybody. And I accept that, because I've starting this journey, I've realized that no matter what you believe, people are going to disagree with you. They're going to agree with you. My view is that if I'm coming from a deep authenticity, that I'm seeking the right thing, I'll find the right people. I don't believe in the idea that, women are robots to just follow a man around no matter what, that they shouldn't speak their mind. That's not the camp I'm in. But I do think that this idea of a woman should be submissive to a husband that is submissive to a higher ideal. I spoke about this with Christy Collins. You could check out that video. Whereas that a man is to be submissive to something higher. A good general is submissive to the chain. It's a chain of command kind of thing. And where's your chain of command? Is your chain of command in, I'm just going to order my wife around because I'm the man? That to me is the definition of a weak man. But a man who lays out his principles, he lays out the blueprint of what he wants in a marriage and what he expects, and manage expectations, and also the willingness to expect the unexpected, right? There's a lot more power there. And I say true woman and true man in this post because either you're in connection with truth or you're believing a lie. And who am I to say that? Again, that's why I share my viewpoint. You can take it or leave it. But in my own experience, when I have been weak in my life and living there was no strong attraction in the relationships that I had. It was weak. It was weak because the truth is women hate weak men. They hate them. Whether they say that or not, it's a whole different thing, because women are very strongly connected with their emotion. They don't want to hurt people's feelings. And that also, the worst thing a woman can do is say to a weak man, you know what, I think you're weak, because he might take that personally and then resent her. And then, so she tries to express that in different ways that a lot of men don't pick up. there's so many layers behind this, but again, for the sake of time, I'm going to end that video here. This is the law of polarity. This is the law of the yin and the yang. In a world that wants to pull you all different directions, I think those answers are found within you. And I think that there are exceptions to the rule, but these exceptions are not the rule. And I think when men become that strongest version of themselves, they tap into their strength, true strength. The difference between a boss versus a leader. They lead by example. They take responsibility. They know when to tap into their weaknesses, but they do so without becoming weak, complaining, and being emotional. For a man to live in his emotions is a weak man. For a man to express emotions is a sign of a strong man. Express emotions and to understand them, to integrate them, to have emotional stability without becoming emotional. I have a lot more to say on this on 2023, but I hope you found value in that. For those of you who are walking the path of truth and seeing the world as it is, rather than what the world has told you it is, keep walking that path. Men, be the change that you want to see. Women, don't just follow any man. Follow the right men in your life. You know who they are, the brothers, the uncles, the fathers, the friends that you have in life who do the right thing and should be praised for doing the right thing and are worthy of being followed. Those voices should be amplified. And those who abuse power, those who pretend to be that which they are not, they should not be followed. And they should be led into the right direction. Men are called to lead. Men are called to protect. Men are called to provide. And those who do that honestly and authentically should be followed. And they should be acknowledged. And just because a man has power does not mean that it should be dismissed as toxic masculinity. We should appreciate strength and protect that